Is it reasonable to believe in angels? Angels fascinate, just as the Planet Earth series captivates us by bringing unusual and beautiful forms of animal life right into our living room. So too the theologian uses revelation and reason to help us discover the existence and the nature of invisible spiritual creatures we call angels. In part 1 of our series about angels, we saw that Revelation names the existence of these spiritual creatures. But we also showed how the Bible tends to focus on angels in relationship to their creation and salvation. In order to get a full picture of the existence and the nature of angels, we must also use our reason. And this is important because we often think of reason as identical with scientific method. In our contemporary age, we conflate scientific method with reason. But reason is not limited simply to scientific method. We can reason about invisible realities with equal confidence as we do with physical ones. After all, reason itself is immaterial. Just as science studies the material world with particular methods of hypothesis and experiment, so too reason can be applied to the non-material realities. For example, we reason every day about law and the application of law using jurisprudence. We reason and think deeply about literature using grammar and principles of semantics. Similarly, we study spiritual realities using philosophy. And in particular, we use a mental method called metaphysics. Now, using metaphysics, we can argue that angels do exist. The great Dominican theologian Thomas Aquinas was a genius. Even those who don't share his Catholic belief tend to place him on the Mount Rushmore of history's greatest thinkers. His nickname was the Angelic Doctor, not only because of the purity of his life, but also because he wrote extensively on the existence and the nature of these spiritual creatures. Now, if we unpack his reasoning for the existence of angels, we see there are 3 concrete steps, and I'd like to take us through each one of those steps. Step 1, God creates through the divine intellect and will. The divine intellect, which is powerful and all-present, forms an idea of the universe, and the divine will, which is dynamic and all-embracing, loves this universe into existence. Creation itself reflects the fullness of God's intellect and will. That's step 1. Step 2, we can see the great diversity of life in the material world. In the world of inanimate objects, there's the beauty of a sunset, the power of a waterfall, the unique magnetism of certain natural minerals. In plant life, there's a range of fauna and flora which give rise to life, producing oxygen and the nutrients which sustain growth of this planet. The animal kingdom spans a wide range from one-celled organisms to the complexity of apes, gorilla, and my favorite, the playful, ruddy orangutan. Step number 3, we need to reflect on our own human nature. Human nature is composed of both material and spiritual characteristics. Like the animals, we have bodies which need food, water, and exercise in order to maintain health. But distinct from the animals, we have an immaterial, rational soul which is able to think, to reason, and to reflect upon ourselves. The creation of this complex language, culture, and art that sets us apart from the animal kingdom lets us know that we are this blend of both material reality and immaterial reality. Now let's take these 3 steps and tie them together. If creation reflects the fullness of the Creator, and we can see a rich and full diversity of life in the material world, then it stands to reason there must be an equal diversity in the world of the Spirit. Especially since God's intellect and will are immaterial in themselves, the world of spirit might be even more full and diverse than the rich diversity of the material world that we can see. One of the most astonishing aspects of Planet Earth in their series was after 2 seasons of nearly 20 episodes and thousands of hours of footage, the producers admitted that they feel like they've just glimpsed and scratched the tip of the iceberg when it comes to showing the wonders of the natural world. Imagine how much more beautiful and powerful the invisible world of angels is in their own unique diversity. And like the production team behind Planet Earth and that series who use science and technology to bring the hidden aspects of the natural world and all of nature to vibrant life, so too, revelation and reason help us to gain a greater knowledge and appreciation of spiritual creation. Revelation and reason provide complementary truths which help us to discover the diversity of the angelic realm. They tell 2 interrelated stories which form one narrative. Revelation tells the story of who the angels are in their context of creation and salvation, but is limited into the scope of what they are as spiritual creatures. Reason gives us a metaphysical method of uncovering the nature of an angel and angelic life, but does not provide their role in God's plan. Reason tells the story of what the angels are. Revelation tells the story of who they are. I invite you now to join me on a journey together to discover the story of the spiritual world, which, though hidden to our senses, vibrantly comes to life through revelation and reason. Brothers and sisters, keep studying. I'm Father Michael Hurley for the Western Dominican Province.